in the global competency centers at Mackensall for automation, Amin Basha and Maya Gupta. And I would like to encourage all those that are participating, should you have any questions or would like reference materials that go in a little bit more deeply about the service offerings available, please don't hesitate. But by all means, I believe you all to be in great company, and it's my good fortune to introduce Amin Basha. Amin, thank you.
Thank you, Thomas, and everyone joining today for this great session and a chance to show our capabilities in automation along with the Tricentis partnerships and product. Hope you all able to hear me loud and clear. If you have any issues in hearing me, please let me know. So we can start our session. So I'm really happy and also excited to show the capabilities of Mackensaw of what we have done with automation and also how we are going with Tricentis in terms of our partnership that is already being established and how Tricentis can help in terms of automation in the area of retail, fashion, and consumer packaged goods industries. Okay, and and also we'll be showing some of our pre-built uh, test cases that we have already created, okay, in terms of accelerators which can be helpful and which can help you to kickstart your test cases and implement your your deployments and the whatnot. Okay, so how we can help you in terms of speed of your testing and how we can increase your test efficiency, and all these we are going to see in every slide that we are gonna go through. Okay, so with that I would like to start, and so I would like to introduce myself, Amin Basha. I'm managing test and intelligent automation for Mackensaw, and I have my colleague, Mr. Mayank Gupta, who's a director for SAP in retail fashion. Okay, and today we are just going to have a look at the QA engineering with Tricentis and how Mackensaw and Tricentis can help you to come up with an intellectual way of doing testing, and how we can increase your productivity in terms of testing, and how we can bring up a quality software in the area of retail and fashion, and as well as in the consumer packaged goods industry. Okay, so with that I would like to go with the first slide of just give you what is Mackensaw and how we have made our journey from 2008 to 2022. Okay, so Mackensaw company primarily started as a SAP retail consulting, okay, in 2008. And every year, although we had many accomplishments and milestones that we have achieved, we have got a chance to just pull up some of the key milestones achievements that we have made every year in these slides. Okay, so in 2008, yes, we founded it as a SAP retail consulting company, and in 2000 and we had 2009 we had a first SAP retail transformation project for worth of $10 million. Okay, and from there in 2010, SAP retail projects in partnership with a large IT firm. So we made a good partnership, started from there in 2020, 2011. We SAP Edge partnership, and we set up our offshore. In 2012, so we signed up a 30 billion retailer program, and that is what does a big achievement. And we thank all our customers who believed in us, in our capabilities, just taking a moment to thank them. And in 2014, so we also brought in the apparel and the footwear solutions in our portfolio along with retail. And we actually had a program that is engagement that has been made of 10 billion global retailer. In 2015, SAP FMS, okay, and retail program for North America and China. It's like more like we are stepping uh, out of the world, like, not just North America. So we are just having our footsteps all over the world. Okay, that was our first target, and we made some footsteps in China, which is um, just known to be one of the Asians company. And in 2016, we have multiple SAP FMS and retail, and also we had the car projects. Okay, and in 2017 was a remarkable year where we had a service partnership with SAP, and in 2018 we created our innovation product launch called Spot, which is one of the e-commerce platforms that we have initiated. In 2019, we become the priority partner for SAP fast fashion programs and consulting partners. So I just missed 1 year here when we started our automation practice. In 2018, we set up the COE for automation, and that was the year we also made engagement, a partnership with UiPath. UiPath being one of the a leading provider for robotic process automation, and we made a partnership with them in 2018. Okay, and then in 2020, okay, after a gap in the pandemic in 2020, we also made a progress in the area of automation, where we got a state government project, that implementation that we did for UiPath and their robotic process automation. Then we also made some partnership, like Tricentis, Worksoft, and we also came up with some um, tools or products which can be which can be used in the area of retail and fashion, which are called ISPX and IMDX. So we have some sessions on that also. Today there is a session at 3 p.m. on that IMDX. If you happen to get chance, you can join there. We encourage you to join and get learn, and you can go with that too. In 2021, we added AMS projects, and we added new logos, and we just started 2022, and we are happy to inform you that we have made a partnership with Hyperscience. Hyperscience is being one of the leading OCR technology provider, and which is go with RPA hand in hand. Okay, and this Hyperscience is actually can be integrated, tools like Automation Anywhere or UiPath, or whatever the market leaders that we have for RPA. So there we can make a integration, and we can come up with a good solutions and benefits out of that. So, and also there was one milestone we achieved in 2022 was IMDX bot readiness. So we have put together some of our ideas, and we have come up with RPA bot solution that is goes with IMDX, and IMDX is intelligent master data express. So now we made a bot on that, so that I would prefer, or my company would prefer, to call it a I square MDX, because we have made two intelligence on it. So IMDX itself having an intelligence in that. On top of that, we have added intelligence of RPA in that. That's why we say that we can call it as I square MDX. So that's all with this slide, and I will be moving to the next slide from here. Sorry. Okay, and here this slide, it talks about the automation COE that we have set up, and whatever the core capabilities that we have with our RPA COE. Okay, and COE is, if you all know, that it's a center of excellence, and we have a structure. Okay, and that starts with the organization, where we have a defined organizational structure of the COE, and it starts with a infrastructure engineer and a solution architect, a developer, and the people who's setting up this, writing the scripts, and making deployments. So we have set up in such a way that it creates organization, and it also we have defined roles and responsibilities on all the aspects of the test automation for this. And second comes the governance. Governance is very important, that we don't want to miss any of the compliance aspect when we are doing implementation. We want to make sure that our policies and the standards are met in our delivery, so we can make sure that we are meeting 100% compliance on that. Okay, so that's why we have set up the governance, and that goes with the policies, procedures, and we have our automation qualification. Okay, and we also have regulatory compliances and audits, internal audits that's happening in a regular intervals, to make sure that we are meeting compliance in every aspect of our implementation with automation. Okay, we also make sure that we have the best practices in standardizing the approaches, process tools, methodologies, and whatnot in that. So that is one of the main things that we wanted to make sure and keep in our COE. And next comes the technology. Yes, we have the capabilities of making technology in such a way that gives a correct solution, along with partnering with we have also made established partnership with tools like TriScientist. Okay, and why? Because it's very important that when you do automation, it's more like an investment, and we want you to make sure that you make the right investment on the right place with the right tool, then you get a right benefit out of it. So that is where we are here with the technology, and we have a technical team. We can we can suggest these tools, and we can suggest the algorithms and the framework and whatnot on that. And we also here to identifying the innovating and accelerating the reusable models that we were talking about the accelerators. So we have created accelerators which can be reused, or we can be plugged in. We can call it as a plugin, like you just plug in and just tweak here and there, and you should be able to proceed that. And then next comes the process experience, and we have execution and monitoring of entire automation life cycle. It's not that yeah, that everyone is it's like more everyone is monitored, and we have a process. We have people who have experience in monitoring it and controlling it wherever it's required. And also we are also offering the process and proof of concept POCs, which comes as our investments initially, who the customer comes in. Okay, and it's more like hey, your POC is on us, kind of thing. And the next comes the people and culture. So we have a training, qualification, and change management. Okay, so when we say that training, we make sure that we have our team, or the people who are engaging in automations are well trained in the technologies, and the new technologies coming in wherever we are making partnership. And second thing is that whenever there's an automation that has been implemented, we come up with OCM, okay, organization change management, and it defines the job of the currently people who are involved there. So we want to tell them that hey, now it's been automated. Now how this process changed from here. So just to give them a comfort that with automation, whatever they have been doing in the past, so how this automation change and helps them, and also that's a seamless process from there. So that's all about this slide on this. We'll be taking the questions at the end of the session. And okay, so next we want to talk about our industry capabilities. People may be amazed, wondering like why we are talking about the industry capabilities in the place in the session of automation or testing. Okay, industry knowledge or business knowledge, or we can call it a functional knowledge on an industry, is very important when it comes to testing. Okay, why? Because a tester is the one who will be thinking from the end user perspective. Okay, and it's very important the person who is doing the testing. Okay, not just the execution, the person who's doing the designing or the test planning or writing cases or bringing up with the test scenarios, after the BRD and requirements has been captured. Okay, it's very important. Why? Because a person who is having a business knowledge and functional knowledge will be able to identify the places where it can come up with some issues or errors they have already faced. Okay, and then also they can come up with some business scenarios which can break the system. Okay, and that is why it's very important. Okay, and also when it comes to risk-based testing, or when it comes to experience-based testing, this your functional knowledge, your industry knowledge is, like something that is added advantage for you. So with that, we would like to show what McKinsey is having. Is McKinsey is a primarily a retail and fashion solution provider that we have already seen, and we have made our footprints on CPG, and we also made some best practices and experiences there. Okay, so McKinsey being a pioneer in niche areas bring thought leadership and established industry practices, joining at with Tricentis. So if you see that we have listed out some of our customers where we are working, like global fashion handbag, and we have a multi-dollar retailer engagement that we have made, and we have a fashion apparel retailer customers, leading fashion apparel retailer and wholesaler in North America that we have made engagement with. And we also have chocolates, candies retailer that comes under consumer or packaged goods. And we also have experience with the eyewear manufacturer and retailer. Okay, so, and also grocery chain, we also have engagement with the electronic retailer. So what does it mean? Like, it does mean that we already have experience and exposure to the process, or we can call it as the industry knowledge that we have, that we can put together, and we can come up with a quality test, a test case, or a test effectiveness, or we can call it an optimization. Okay, so when you say that optimization is not that you just reduce the cases, test cases, or test scripts, it's more like you come up with the effective cases which can run a less number of cases, that we can identify more defects, that can reduce your cost in terms of execution and all those things. And also it can make sure that it can prove the quality of your software. So that is where we need the industry capabilities and experience. And we have a lot of people in our team whom worked from 2008 until today, and they have came across all these customers and the knowledge and the experience that is there, and we can seek help from them when it comes to identifying the right scenarios. So that's all about that slide. And the next slide that we are going to talk about is, like, it's very important, is why SAP. Okay, sorry, why Tricentis for SAP, and why SAP chose Tricentis as its one of the official testing solution that we have noticed here. Okay, so although Tricentis can go through and it can help you with any automation, any kind of application, and can help you through automation on that, but why specific to SAP? But that, excuse me. So SAP have gone through this application, and they have gone through the capabilities of this tool, Tricentis, and they have noticed that how this Tricentis is integrated, their products are integrated with SAP, and how well they can come up with a solution on that. So that is why they have made an analysis on their tool, and they have come up with a saying that, hey, this tool is something like it can work closely with SAP and come up with a more automation. Okay, and along with that, okay, and Tricent is a global leader in the enterprise testing solutions. Okay, and Tricent has been named one of the clear leader by all the top analysts like Gartner, and we have a Forrester and ITC. And then along with that, Tricent have around 1,800 plus customers, including brands such as Exxon, McKesson, Vodafone, Coca-Cola. These are the leading players in the industry of retail. And also along with that, they have an enterprise grade platform. It's not like they just have a solution for your test automation. If you have noticed, their landscape of products that are available is more like it will be helping you in the places of functional automation and performance. They have come up with a solution called Live Compare that we are going to talk about. Live Compare is the one that will help you to identify the right test cases. So this tool has integrated with SAP in such a way it goes through each and every transaction that you are doing in your production, and it comes up with a suggestion of how many test cases you need to prove the quality and come up with a zero defects. Okay, and that is where that Tricentis plays a vital role in the area of enterprise automation that we are doing, end-to-end solution that we can call. And along with that, that we have already spoke, that end-to-end business process and beyond SAP is not just SAP. Um, it can go with any application in the industry, and it can integrate and it can do automation. Okay, and along with that, the modern and artificial intelligence driven technology, and that is actually your Tricentis products are made in such a way that it can adopt the new AI ML technologies that is coming in. Okay, and we can it can be integrated. It can come up with a solution which reduce your cost, and it can also reduce the burden of going with less defects. And considering all this, they have enabled anyone from developers to business, okay, they can integrate this AI or ML solutions. Along with that, there's one thing that with the Tricentis products, especially with Tosca, is that there is no code or a less code concept. Okay, so that is where I believe that SAP have considered this one of the main factors or key factors, because when you have no code or less code, your business team can engage in doing automation. That is more like you get your testing done from by end users. Okay, so that is where they have this from developers to business expert, everyone can involve in automation, and you can dramatically accelerate the release and cycles and improve the quality. So that's all about this slide, and with the interest of time, I am moving to the next slide. And who is Tricentis? Now we have noticed that why Tricentis in the past screen, the past slide, why Tricentis, why SAP chose Tricentis. But here we are saying that who is Tricentis? With the general description, we can see that the market leader in agile test management and AI-based continuous testing, supporting over 170 plus enterprises technologies. Okay, and when you say the enterprise technologies, it's not that the coding part or of what you want to create for your automation script. It's matter of how this task or this Tricentis tools can be integrated and can be accessible for the technologies that with the different various aspects and different various of platforms that we can call them. Okay, so we have 90% of scenario automation, 80% of ink speed, and more than 85% of risk coverage that is been proved. Okay, and we have a strong partnership with Tricentis, and we are one of those prime partners for Tricentis, and Tricentis is having tech alliances with ServiceNow, AWS, Microsoft, and SAP, and Salesforce. All these are leading people, leading players in the industry of retail. And if they see the journey, they started in 2007, and they made a good progress, and there was some acquisition called Flight, and the Q app or QA Symphony, and then 2019 they actually came up with a live compare, which we were talking, and we are going to see this tool, how this works. And we had they in 2020 they made a SAP partnership. That is where they made silver partners with the SAP. And they have also have Neotis acquisition that is happening 2021, and they have greater than 2,500 customers worldwide, and 8 of the top 10 global banks of their customers, and 6 of the 10 top financial services are their customers, and 4 of the top 10 energy and utility industry players are their customers, and 8 of the top 10 insurance company, and 7 of the top 10 telecommunications, and 7 of the top 10 global services they're being their customers. And that proves how much confidence that industry have got on these tools, and they have made partnership with Tricentis. Okay, and also Gartner, Forrester, and IDC, they have identified Tricentis as one of those leaders. They're sitting in the top in terms of product and their capabilities. Moving on to the next slide. Um, so we were talking about the various products and the availability of various products and the various platform of testing by Tricentis. So here we have come up with a slide where that shows that which area what tool is being considered for Tricentive. Okay, if you see that Tricentive live compare it helps to identify what to test, which means you are planning your test designing and planning that comes in there, and you can come up with the optimized test cases that will reduce your cost. And it's not just about reducing cost, it's also doing an effective testing. Okay, and say definitely a reduced number of test cases means reduced number of effort and the time and the dollar value and all those things, but it also gives a proof that you can come up with the effective cases that can increase the quality of your software. So that is where the live compare helps. Okay, and Tricentis Tosca is the it like it's an automation, functional automation tool that uh, that that can automate your test scenarios with no code or less code. Okay, that enables your business partners or end users or we can call it the process owners to come up with their scenarios, and they can quickly develop their cases, and they can run it. Okay, so we don't need a specific technical knowledge or something that is required there. And there is one thing is very important to talk about, is that how these Tricentis Tosca cases can be converted into performance testing cases. That part has been taken care by the Tricentis Neolo. Okay, and this is a more kind of reusing or kickstarting your performance testing very quickly. You don't need much effort in there. Like if you have established the cases for Tricentis or Tosca as functional testing, all you need to do is just do a one click. Okay, and that converts the functional cases into performance cases. For example, you have for a functional case, just an example that you are connecting and you are logging to the SAP system. Okay, give the user ID and password, and that test case can be converted into performance testing, where you can just scale up the number of the users. Like instead of one user, you go with hundred of users, 1,000 of users, and that skeleton of the test case remains same, just the number of load has been increased, and that comes with a clear performance testing case. And that if you can run, you can see that whether your system is getting a response to your server, how quickly to get the response from your server and all those things. So that is one thing, like from design to development and change impact analysis, continuous testing automation, test automation, and load testing and release. So this entire circle has been covered by the different products. And there is one thing that is in between that we have noticed is Tricentis Qtest, which is actually a test management tool, which can be considered as a cloud, as which is there in the cloud. And with Tricentis, Tosca, and Q-test, and along with Neolo, you can come up with one set of performance and functional tests in one place, integrated in such a way that you convert them, and it remains in Q-test, and you can use it anywhere, anytime. Okay, so this is all about this slide. And next, the same platform, that the landscape of these products, we try to put in a way that how these products can help you in different phases of your testing. Okay, so if you notice, it's very important that whatever you do as part of automation testing or even a functional manual testing, it's very important you to manage it. Okay, in the market you have many tools for test management, but Q-test is one which is actually agile test management, and it's open and it's scalable, and it's agile test management in such a way it is integrated with Tosca and Neolo. That's very important. So when you say that it's integrated, any changes that you do on Tosca on a test case, and if you want to convert them as a performance test case on a Neoload, it actually can be done through Q-test, and it stores the data with and also the test case. So that is where the Q-test plays a vital role for managing your test. And comes this automation optimization, test case optimization. This I have already spoke about live compare. It sits in your production environment, and it also just understand your technology, your transaction, and then it comes with a suggestion how many testing is how many test cases required, and how much testing is required, and all those things. Then it is integrated with Tosca to come up with the test cases. Okay, and you do this test case optimization, and on top of that you do the business risk analysis, and you do the test case design and test data management, and all those things in considered. Then the part of functional testing, it's AI based, and it's no code and end-to-end automation with 160 plus technologies being considered, that can be capable of doing by Tosca. Okay, and there is another one is data integrity that helps you to do the data testing. Okay, for your part, it is another tool that we have, and the last comes the Tricentis Neoload. Again, Tricentis Neoload is a performance testing tool, and on demand, it can identify the bottlenecks of your performance, and you can then later you can do the tuning to see that why this part has been not getting response or something when you are adding up the load or something. So these things are considered as a end-to-end platform or a landscape of Tricentis analytics that we have. Next, key benefits: 80% faster. So as we how it has been proven, like when we have tools like live compare and the Neoload or Tricentis Tosca are being integrated, where in one click you will be able to convert a functional case into a performance case. Definitely it decreases your time and it makes you faster. So this number here that we have given here is it's like it's maximum achieved by for one of our customers that we have made. So 80% faster, and it accelerates the release and cycles, and 90% of your testing that you can automate using this different platform, different products that we have in our landscape. And 85% risk coverage can be achieved, and using this like tools like live compare, where it not just reduces the number of test cases in an optimized way, it also identify the bottlenecks that where you need more testing. So that is where your 85% of your risk is covered using the Tricentis tools products that we have. In next slide, we are talking about how this Tricentis, Tosca, and Q-test are integrated along with neoload. If you see this tri-sentence analytics that we have given here, so you have a test case that is launched on a web application or a neoload web, okay, and you turn any web or SAP GUI functional test case into a performance test in one click. So after that has been done, you have a webhook notification that is integrated with the Qtest, and then you can use it from Qtest. And in a reverse way, this Qtest is also integrated in another way. That's whenever you run this and from Qtest, it should be able to run and it updates the results. So this is how this has been integrated, and it gives a quality metrics although across all the testing activities, and it creates the neoload test cases automatically. That's very important. Well, you don't need to go write scripts from the scratch. You just convert the functional test case into a performance case, just scale up the users, the load, the stress that one want to make on that test case in terms of data. Yes, you can do that. And then you launch whatever you converted. It's been saved in Qtest as integrated, right? And you can launch that test case. That saves a lot of time. And next, how this one click works, like the end-to-end automation platform with neoload and Tosca integration, convert any Tosca web that we have already seen, and we have given you a screenshot how this conversion is happening. If you notice here in the picture that we have given, how this Tosca test cases looks like if you notice that there is no coding part and there is no technology or code something that you can't understand straight away, but here is more like a drag and drop of your scenarios. Like you want to open a menu, or you want to get a data from somewhere. So all this time, something like you have activities placed in Tosca, you have to just drop and drag and drop in the right place and come up with a scenario. And so you accelerate your test design and reduce maintenance through the functional asset reuse, maximizing your existing investment. And you, as Tasca test chain neoload performance are automatically updated, it enables you to continuous performance testing as well, enhances team collaboration and shift left transition. So what is shift left when you're talking about here for performance testing? It's very important that you identify the right test case. So since Tosca is already having the functional test cases, and that can be converted into performance testing into one click, then comes the shift left or concept for performance testing here. With that, I have a slide that actually shows how your Tosca test cases can be converted into a neoload test case. I'll just walk you through how this works. So we go to test cases. This is Tosca. And there is a test case of just insurance applications here, where you have the test cases with workflow, and you click here in the settings, you see so you just add a new lead add-on on that and transfer that web test case into a performance case. That's all. So now this test case is doing the performance test with the data. And this is how you do the conversion. See how your test case runs here, how quickly, and scale up the number of users here. And you get the results. And this is neoload. You see that the test case execution has been captured here. and all the parameters that you want. If you want to tweak the test case, you can do. It's not just like that, you can just use it as a code product. You can tweak it. Yeah, that is all about how this one click works. Moving on to the smart impact analysis. This is where we were talking about the live compare. So live compare is a product that can be installed in your production machine. If you want, for example, you have a project that you want to do a migration, okay, from SAP to SAP H4 HANA, okay, and then the next version, a new product coming. So what you can do is you need to identify the right test cases. That's very important. Okay, so for that you can install this live compare in the production environment where these business transactions are happening. Okay, and then you let it there, for some days, like 1 or 2 months. Okay, and every day these transactions happening on this environment, this live compare is capable of recording it, analyzing it, and it's coming with a something like this. You have a picture in the behind, right? It comes with a analytical data. Okay, using this you can come up with identify the most no, frequently executed scenarios, transactions are more risky transactions, or transaction with some finance involved in it, right? And all those things that can be captured. Okay, so with that you can come up with the optimized test cases that you can use for migration testing. It's not just for migration, it can be used for implementation. And live compare goes integrated already with SAP, and it can recognize each and every transaction that has been happening on SAP. So with that you can, decrease your test cases to 85 percentage, and it can also identify the most at risk capabilities or risky scenarios, or business complex scenarios, we can identify all those things. So in a traditional way, if you are doing, you can actually reduce it to, some 60 not 60, 40 percentage, okay, to your experience and your knowledge of your functional area. But with this tool, it should be able to identify the correct scenarios that need testing. Okay, so that is where this product helps us. And moving on to the next one, we want to talk about our intelligent business process automation methodology. This is actually an implementation methodology that we suggest from McKinsey. So what is so different in this methodology? If you see that we have categorized the entire all the end-to-end phases that we have into 3 labs. Okay, the first labs go with discovery assessment. That is where you identify the right candidates for your automation. Then you do a high level analysis and high level process creation. Then you come up with a strategy identification. So all these process, there's a big process that we have we can brought it in one lab. Okay, then comes the development, design, the test, train, and solution deployment. And the last lab that we have here, the lab 3, is run and improve. Through this, we have proved that we can deliver faster and also in an effective way. Okay, so to know about more this, right, more about this, we can actually have to set up one more session in the future, that we can go through that what are all the projects that we have gone through these methods and how these benefits that we have arrived on this methodology. So having said that, next is McKinsey's pre-built cases or data templates, or we can call it as accelerators. Okay, so McKinsey's in-depth knowledge in the retail, fashion, and as well as in the CPG platform. So we have actually identified some of the business cases that we have already automated into Tosca. Okay, so these cases are something like it can be used when you want to implement a project, and you don't know where to start. Okay, we are here to help you and identify, give you a pre-built package which consists of cases which are usually processed frequently processed or high business critical process. So these are we have been already categorized and we have automated, and this will help you to kickstart your testing and your process of testing, I would call, so quickly, just by doing some tweak. Like you have a skeleton, all you need to do is just put the organs for that. So we have the skeletons that we have made for each and every area, like for OTC, and we also have some processes like sales and distribution, material management, whatnot. So with this, if you want to start a testing, yep, we are here. We come up with these cases and do a take, because it's not that it can be just 100% can be reusable. It's like 85% work can be reduced with this. And along with that, we also have some bots that we have, what we call the pre-built bots, for example, invoice processing and sales order processing and the IMDX process. For all this, we have a pre-built bot that we can just install in your location, and our bot is capable of identifying those objects and run. So this is more like accelerators or added advantage when you're going with McKinsey for Tricentis. Moving on, yes, this is something that is trending in the industry at this point, like cross-browser and multi-platform and mobile testing. Like, what is cross-browser? You have a platform where it's an e-commerce platform, and not all of your customers are going to use one browser, definitely, right? So you need to come up with all the browsers in the industry, okay, and in the market, and you have to make sure that is your application is compatible with all this and able to process, and people are able to access it through the different process. So that is where we have made some partnership, like some providers like Sauce Labs and Browser Stack. Okay, so what we can do is we can create a platform for this browser testing and the multi-platform. When you say multi-platform, it's like you have a mobile app and you have a web browser. Okay, so for example, any app that you have installed in your on your iOS or your Android, that also have a web application somewhere placed in the internet. Okay, so you need to make sure that whatever the testing that you're doing is done on both app and as well as in the web application, that make sure that it's compatible. Okay, and also using these partnership that we have already established with the Source Labs and Browser Stack, right? So what we can do is we can come up with a platform with mobile emulators and simulators. We can do the mobile testing, and you have multi-platform. And one script concept is something that we are already working on, that is that you have one test case, and that should be able to run in all the browsers in the market and as well as all the platforms that were available for that product. So with that, we can make sure that all the platforms are covered. It's all about the coverage. It's a testing coverage. You are covering your test on all the platforms, all the browsers, and all the technologies that that application is supposed to go with. And next, thank you very much for joining, and it's a time to open for questions.
Well, we certainly want to thank you. I mean, that was an extraordinary presentation, and we always value your precious time. So thank you so very much. Would like to encourage and invite everyone who has participated in this to please enter in your contact information so that we may provide session notes, additional information, and answer any of the questions that you may have in great detail.
Yeah, and if you need us, if you want us to if you want to go with Tricentis products with McKinsey, we have given our RP hotline number. It's also considered for test automation. We also have our email. Okay, you can reach out to us anytime. We are happy to help you.
Well, thank you, everyone, and have a very productive show at NRF 2022, those that are present, and we certainly look forward to getting acquainted with our virtual attendees as well. Have a great afternoon.